I hope everyone had a fantastic Black Friday, and for the Americans down there, a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am enjoying a little bit of my Black Friday purchases. Um, I was very fortunate once upon a time to inherit a whole bunch of tools from my grandfather when he moved into an old age home. And one thing about old mechanics is they have lots and pieces of tools because pieces break here and pieces break there. And one of the things I got a lot of is sockets from him. And one thing, when you're not really organized on it, you're kind of going through a million pieces. And he would have been organized, but I just didn't maybe get the pieces that help keep it organized from him at the time. But I went out and I purchased a whole bunch of these nice little containers in order to organize them a little bit better. And I know there's a lot of excess just due to the fact that sockets break from time to time, especially when you're a mechanic and you're, using them all the time, and you're going to get a really hard bolt here or there or whatever, and just over time that they are going to crack. So I knew for a fact that I had incomplete sets, but I also knew I had a lot of the sockets. So I bought basically enough to do at least 3 full sets of sockets just so I could organize them. And I bought these nice handy dandy guys, which is what a lot of guys just use in general, basically, so I can put them on here and kind of keep them organized. But I bought this for more so for the excess. So I bought these guys, which have a nice little magnet underneath it, which is fantastic. And it also kind of keeps them in from both sides, which is really nice. They're actually meant so you can actually hang them on the side of a toolbox if you want to, instead of inside it, which is really, really nice. So these are kind of be my primary ones, just because it's so nice to walk up and see the big numbers on them and know exactly what I needed. But I also really wasn't sure what I have and what I don't have. I did have an aunt that gave me a set when I was a young man. I don't even know if I was a teenager yet. I might have got it for probably around my 13th birthday, so when I became a teenager. And that set is mostly still really good and intact, but it also is a lot of metric, which, Canadians, we use metric, but because a lot of our tools and a lot of our parts come from the States, it's more often than not I'm going to use the imperial system versus the metric system. So my metric stuff is like in top-notch shape because I've barely used them in all those years, whereas some of my imperial has broken. So anyways, I've been doing the process of sorting out all of my sockets, and this is just one full-on extra that I have. So if I ever break these guys, and again, these are all the metrics that I have a complete perfect excess set that I'm not really necessarily using, but if I ever broke one of the others, it's nice to have a spare. So we'll be keeping that just on organized manner now. So anyways, in short, I hope everyone had a wonderful Black Friday, and I hope you get to enjoy some of your self-purchased gifts and toys as I am. And anyways, back to sorting. One of the nice things about getting tools and stuff like that from a relative or someone that was important to you is every single time you use it, it does feel important to you. And in this case, getting it from my grandfather, you kind of know in the back of your head that he would have been proud that I was doing this. Not sorting, proud that he would have been proud that I was using the tools and building something or fixing something. Now, I don't know enough about some of these, but there has been a handful that don't have the numbers on them, and they don't look like they were worn off. So I'm thinking maybe once upon a time, because again, some of these are really old, maybe they just didn't put the sizes on them. Whoever decided to put sizes on them was a smart person. He had one little package here that was never even opened. Kind of what I thought. I had a lot of incomplete sets, and the complete set that I had that was given to me as a gift at one point, I've broken one or two, and I'm sure I've lost one or two since I was like 13 or whatever it was I got them. So I did get duplicates of a couple of these, and then I also just put excess on this style just because I figured it'd be a lot easier. If I lose it, I can just go over and try to find one that I've lost. That being said, I've almost got a complete set of the metric, but I've got two almost complete, and it's hard to believe with all that I still have this many extra that are in that size, and yet none of them are the ones I'm missing. So it is what it is. The more common sizes, the sizes I use more often. Again, pretty close to complete sets, but in some cases, that one's probably the worst example I could have gave. Just missing. No, actually, that one is a complete set. That one's nice. And then I have the exact same one again, just missing two. So not bad, because those are the ones I use a little more. But then some I'm missing a handful. But I'm not really worried about it. But at least now that I've gone through and organized it and taken advantage of Black Friday and got some of these sets, or set organizers, whatever you want to call them, it is a little bit nicer because at least this way I'm not going through a huge pile of sockets anymore. It is great when you inherit some tools and everything, but he would have had it all nice in a nice toolbox and all set, but I didn't have some of that stuff. So now it's organized. So it's good. Feels good to have it organized now to take it back up to the garage. And as I had two sets of both metric and imperial plus the extras, there's a set inside and outside, and they stick very nicely to these cabinets.